Trading at Schwab is now powered by Ameritrade, giving you even more specialized support than ever before. Like access to the trade desk, our team of passionate traders ready to tackle anything from the most complex trading questions to a simple strategy gut check. Need assistance? No problem. Get 24/7 professional answers and live help, and access support by phone, email, and in-platform chat. That's how Schwab is here for you, to help you trade brilliantly. Learn more at schwab.com/trading.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched online? It's data brokers. They collect your personal info, your browsing habits, where you live, and who you're related to, and then sell it to the highest bidder. Aura helps stop that. Aura automatically removes your personal info from data broker sites and keeps it off. It also monitors the dark web, protects your devices, alerts you to real-time threats, and more. Start your free trial at aura.com/listen. That's AURA.com/listen for your free trial.
If you love entertainment, current events, and Hollywood, don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Mio Shabin, known for the Shudder hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creators.
Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today, we have a special guest,
Bailey Gray.
Welcome.
It's good to be here.
Absolutely. I mean, I get a treat. I get to see your beautiful face. You're just so radiant.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I love going back to the beginning. I always say the beginning charts our trajectory in life, our little habits that we pick up along the way, follow us into our adulthood. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. What was that like? And was music always the way for you?
Yeah, pretty much like before I was even talking, I was carrying a tune. Music was like at the forefront of my life since childhood. And my background is actually in musical theater. And I did not have a very normal childhood as far as that goes, because I was a working actor. I did the Broadway national tour of Mary Poppins when I was 10 and 11. So I grew up around a lot of theatrical adults. And I feel like that really kind of shaped who I am. But of course, it comes with that kind of weirdness of not really having the same childhood as your peers. And I feel like I was kind of put in a box from a young age as well. It just like naturally comes with beginning your life in the spotlight, because you're not really able to have those introspective moments to yourself between auditioning and learning how to get into other characters' psyches. And it kind of, it was a complicated thing. I was also like, are my friends my friends because they like me, or because I like have a little bit of a taste of success? And then there's also the thing that it literally took me moving across the world. I moved to Scotland for my bachelor's in musical theater. And so it kind of took that for me to be able to figure out who I am. And I learned so much about myself, and it made me a silver lining actually of the pandemic, which is like rare silver linings, but it was the first time that I kind of had time to release my own stuff. I've been writing music since I was 13.
Wow.
And I was, like I said, kind of immersed in the musical theater world. And that was like the track that I was on. And I was very much just running down that track. And then when COVID hit, I was like, okay, I'm in my house. I have recording equipment. I might as well start releasing stuff or putting stuff out there. And then I started gaining a TikTok following for like not just music. I had just like a comedy account where I would post like kind of just like stupid stuff. like Vine era type stuff.
Love it.
But then I really was able to focus on music for the first time after being in intensive uni classes for it every day. But
Nice.
that was really good.
Nice. No, that's amazing. I mean, it just sounds like you're like, just from what you say, like you're a risk taker, which I think you kind of need to be as a creator, right? To moving
Absolutely.
all the way to Scotland. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was like it was on the list of like schools that were good for musical theater programs.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I'll apply just for the hell of it. And like and that audition was like the best audition, and I just felt the vibes with those people. And
Awesome.
so when I got in, I was kind of like, oh holy crap, I'm in a class of 18 people who are like handpicked from like handpicked globally.
Wow.
And it was like we created this really awesome ensemble, and like we were all very very different, and that's kind of what made me lean into my weird authentic self a little bit more.
I
um,
love that. I
yeah.
love that. I was reading your bio and I was you're when you see you said that you wrote the song while working as a host in an underground London bar disguised as a sex shop. I was like, oh, I can't wait to ask. I have so many questions.
Oh yeah. Shout out La Bodega Negra. It's yeah, I was working as a host at what we called the sex shop entrance, which had your classic neon signs, girls, girls, girls on the front. Um, a lot of people did come in thinking it was like a strip club. And I
Interesting.
just had to be super professional. And I'm like, no, no, we're actually a Mexican restaurant. It's like kind of catching people in the act almost, but
Right.
it was all in good fun. But that was, yeah, that was a good time. But the shifts were really late. I was waking up super late. I was going to bed super late. I'd get home at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And so I wrote the song Out From Under while I was working there, because it wasn't just that job. It was that job mixed with I newly had an agent and I was going on auditions, and I had to really schedule around everything.
Yeah.
And the little time that I had, I I would be telling myself like, oh, I gotta get out there, and I've gotta like, I'm young, I've got to date, like I've got to kind of like build my social life. And I was finding that I was really burnt out, and all of my free time I was spending like a potato on my couch and like trying to do as much writing as possible, trying to get my creativity out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when you're an artist and you're working a non-creative job,
Oh
that
yeah.
can that can make you feel drained a lot easier, because
Oh,
it's like,
sure.
oh, I'm spending all these hours, but I'm not getting where I want to be
Yeah.
in my career, you know?
No, and but it's amazing what, what came out of that, out from under, which is, a beautiful, your debut single. Tell me a little bit about that, the process of creating Out From Under. And I mean, it's such a really cool vibe. I was just like, ooh, it's very like, I don't know, it's a lot of different kind of sounds and artists came to mind. I was thinking Amy Winehouse for sure,
Oh
but because I
yeah.
love her, and I just your voice is so like it's so interesting, like it's so different and interesting and also haunting, but in like the best of ways.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I've been getting compared to Amy Winehouse a lot, like mostly on TikTok, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm not worthy, you know? Like what a legend. And I
Yeah.
also used to live after Scotland, I moved to London, and I actually lived in the Camden district.
Nice.
So I like right where she grew up and was performing.
Wow.
But yeah, to get to your question, sorry, I go off on tangents. Um, this song, I wanted to incorporate the theme of fast-paced lyricism to like try and keep up with a ticking clock, because that's internally what I was feeling at the time. And I was feeling a lot of, oh God, I feel like when I'm in the moment, the time goes so slow. And I like through a shift, for example, like the time moves so slow, and then you get home and you're like, oh, what have I actually accomplished? That, oh no, like stop the clock. Like I'm getting older every day. Yeah. I want to have this whole music career. I want to have this whole acting career. Yeah. I'll often ask myself, like, am I thinking over ambitiously? But then I'm like, no, I've just got to go full force. But I love the sound of brass, like a brass ensemble. So I wanted to make this a song that people can connect to, because obviously like everyone feels burnt out and like they don't have enough time at some point in their lives. But I also wanted to make it something to dance to. Yes. And one of my favorite songs is Stevie Wonder's I Wish.
Oh, it's a good one.
And I love the like samples he uses and the brass sounds that he uses, and that the tap dancing sample in it, which actually I added a tap dancing sample in my song Use Me as well. So I'm drawing from him a little bit there. But yeah, just something to dance to while getting existential together.
I love that.
And I wanted it to slow down at a point, because the whole song is basically like, can I slow down this clock? And can I get out from under all of this stuff that's burying me? And I feel like I can't reach my peak because I'm like, the finish line keeps getting further away, is like the classic thing. But I wanted to make it slow down for a bit in that like little film noir, smoky saxophone section. And it's like, ooh, we're slowing down for a bit. Yeah. And then on the line, I'm too busy for love. Then again, I'm not paid nearly enough. And it gets, it's kind of like that little sassy bit that brings it back into the ticking clock. Da, 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 da.
Love that. That's so cool. I mean, just would you say that you're more like, is it when your process is intuitive when it comes to, you just let it, whatever happens,
yeah, exactly that. It always happens in a different way. I feel like when I get the feeling of inspiration, I will just follow it. And like, I'm not one of those people that can sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to write a song about this right now. Like, it has to flow out of me. It has to be like a fluid thing. Sometimes it comes from poetry that I write, because I journal a lot. Nice. Sometimes I'll be playing around on the guitar and I'll find a little riff or a little chord sequence I like. And because I live my life in sounds, like when I hear something played, or when I figure out a sequence, like I almost kind of know what the song is about. And it kind of just, it comes to me so naturally. And I write really quickly as well. Like, I write most of my songs, at least like the chords and the lyrics and the melody, in one session. Wow. And then I kind of like roll with it from there. But it's always, I feel like sometimes talking about the process is complicated, because it is different every time. And like with Out From Under, actually the chords and I can't even remember what came first, honestly, because it was it just kind of, I channeled it. Nice. And it was just all of the stuff that I was feeling at the time. And I just like went with it. And I was having ideas coming to me like faster than I could type them down, and faster than I could kind of like secure them. So what I do is I just like put my phone on record, and I will record a lot of like the improvising of it, which is another interesting thing. The last song on this album is just a voice memo of me like playing an improvised song with the windows open from my London flat.
Wow.
And you hear the buses going by, you hear the passersby. And I wanted to close it out with that because it feels very safe to me. Like I find my solace in just like seeing where the energy takes me.
Love that. I
And that's
love
what I
that.
love about it.
I love that. I love how you described that. I was just like, I just literally was just picturing it. It's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I want the listeners to like feel like they're there with me.
Exactly what I felt like. It felt really like, yeah, like I super relatable. Like, yeah, I'm like, yeah. But also I loved the whole vibe it was just like, wow. I just like, I felt the energy definitely when I played the song in the speakers before coming on. It was really lovely.
I
Um,
love it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Your lyrics often delve into introspection. How do you balance vulnerability with relatability in your songs?
Oh wow, that's a beautiful question. I I feel like there's so much about me that is really relatable.
Hmm.
Um, like I'm very, very open with the fact that like I'm a human. I'm flawed. I'm not always gonna be what everybody wants at any given time. And I'm
Yeah.
learning to be more okay with my vulnerability being perceived,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. But I go at making music just with whatever is the most vulnerable to me.
Mm.
So with this album being all first person, it is the most it is the most vulnerable thing that I've done as an artist is release this.
Beautiful.
And the beautiful thing is I think my vulnerability like turns into relatability.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want people to be able to embrace their own vulnerability.
Hmm.
And like I'm the kind of person that if I have a fan like on TikTok or Spotify that like writes to me, I try to respond to people. I try to like be someone to like I don't want to like consider myself a role model. That's like something I don't want to like put that pressure on myself, but I just want to be real with people.
Yeah.
And I value so much when artists that I look up to like say their opinions and kind of speak up on the things that they believe in. It makes me feel closer to them. And I think with like a lot of mainstream art and mainstream media, it can get watered down at some points because people aren't really allowed to speak up about things that they believe or that they care about because of the whole like business model of the arts.
Mm.
Um, but and now with AI getting so crazy and with people like now some like platforms are using people's music to train AI, which I think is
Yes.
just the scariest thing.
Yes.
Like it's like taking the soul out of music.
Mm-hmm.
And what I always want to do is yeah, just like keep it real and make real stuff, make soul music. Like
Yes.
I like to I like to say soul music in like in also another way. Like obviously soul music is great and I love it.
Yeah.
But like even music of like other genres that you can tell you can tell how much love and dedication that the artist kind of puts in their stuff, like just
Mhm.
directly from their soul. I
Yeah.
get that with like Hosier is
Yeah.
probably my favorite current artist at the moment because he bears his soul
Mm.
with his voice and with his lyrics. Um, and with yeah, with the world of AI, I'm not afraid to say I'm a little bit scared of it, you know?
Yeah. No, seriously. It's definitely something that a lot of people are very nervous about. It just seems like it's not slowing down anytime soon. So
Yeah,
um
it's it's rapid.
yeah, it's like I guess figuring out ways to like work around it and still, like you said, I think that's the thing is that's the beautiful thing about the soul, the connection part of human. Like it will never be a human, obviously, but that's the difference. It's like people are gonna always choose, I don't know, the connection, the soul versus the just the yeah. Because
Yeah,
nowadays you can hear AI can make a whole album and you're like you can't tell, but it's lacking that that what you just said, that thing.
that depth.
Yes.
When you listen to a really, really good song, like the emotion you get from it is just like unlike anything else. I Music is the thing that makes me feel the most.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Transitioning from a child actor to a independent music artist, I'm sure is quite the journey. Um, what's some pivotal moments in that transformation? I mean, most people, well, especially artistry, I can't imagine. I have a background in cinematography, so um, I can't imagine what being a music artist is like. But um, and then you have all these moving parts that you have to take care of. I mean, you don't. It's like I don't have a team of 20, but it's like it feels like I have to do all the roles, being independent. But what does that look like for you?
Oh yeah. I'm I'm a creative person. I've never been good at management or like the business side of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, pivotal moments as far as pivotal moments go. Um I was kind of always feeling like, how am I going to do this without a team? How am I going
Mm.
to It's hard to find people that want to go on a journey with you when you have a small budget, you know, like when
Mm.
you're kind of just starting out. But I'm so lucky that 5 years ago, my producer found me on TikTok.
Amazing.
And I was just at that point posting little acoustic covers of things. And he DM'd me and he was like really respectful and really nice and like, hey, I don't know like if you're down for this, but I'm a producer and I think we make pretty similar kinds of music and I would love to work with you if that's possible. And like the rest is history. Shout out Sam Cooke Stunts with Homespun Audio in Seattle. He's a dream to work with. It's like we gel so well as collaborators that
Mhm.
I feel so much more safe now in the industry because we've become our team.
That's awesome.
So he's like my right hand man
That's
and makes it all feel possible. But I'm taking steps every day because growth mindset, and I'm gonna get better at doing my own distribution and emailing managers and putting my music out there. Like I'm really trying to reach people and connect to people without like shoving my art down people's throats.
Yeah, I
You
know
know
what
what I
you
mean?
mean. Yeah.
I'm trying to like
Yeah.
sneak in there, like put my toe in the door and be like, hey, so I make this stuff. And like if you vibe with it, awesome.
That's great. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I think that's such I love asking that question because I feel like a lot of times people like look at your social media, they look at, what's just the product. They don't look, they don't see the hard work. They don't see what all goes into creating this masterpiece.
Yeah.
The
It's a
grueling
lot of
hours
yeah,
of
a
like,
lot behind the curtains
yeah.
happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's the thing is you gotta love what you do because it is work, but if you love it, then I guess it's not, it's not work. But I think it's sometimes you have to, I think during the pandemic, I had to kind of pivot a little bit because certain things wasn't like I wasn't always working on set. So I was like, all right, I gotta find something else to do in the meantime.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how I don't know, the creative world is definitely not for the faint of heart.
Yeah,
Ebbs and flows.
absolutely. Especially with like kind of the systems that hold us down and
Yeah.
the budget cuts, the budget cuts, the cuts for the arts like happening just all the time. It's like what I say is like creativity threatens the systems that hold us
Mm,
on.
that's good.
Like, yeah, art forces us to see things through new lenses, and I think that's just the best thing.
It's beautiful. Yeah, and you're doing that. You're doing just that. I have a fun question for you, and there is no wrong answer.
Okay.
The three levels of influence: money, power, and respect. And if you could choose only one of those things, which one would you choose and why?
Oh, wow. Hmm. I have a bit of a complicated answer. It's
Go
not
for it.
complicated. No.
Go for
Okay.
it.
So in a perfect world,
Yeah.
in a perfect world, I would say respect.
Mm,
I
mhm.
would say it's just what everyone deserves, you know,
Yeah.
at like a base level, but in this in this world that we have created right now,
Yeah.
I would say money
Yeah. Yeah.
because oh man, yeah, it's what I like to call end stage capitalism right
Mm,
now, where it's getting so polarized and like the wealth gap is getting so bad. And if I if I chose money and if I had money,
mm,
um, let's just say I would be doing a lot more help. I would be helping people that really needed it
yeah.
around the world. Um, I just think it's so important to support each other. And I know that like even though I come from a place of privilege, like I grew up in a middle class family, um, I haven't ever had the means to do what I would like to do in terms of helping people literally survive.
Mm,
And yeah, also selfishly, yeah, I would love to go on tour and be
yeah.
able to make all the kinds of things that I want. And the sad truth is a lot of the time artists artists don't have the budget to make stuff that they want to make
Right. Yeah.
because they because in our world so many times like money is approval,
Hmm.
and the more money you put into something the more successful it becomes. Can you tell that I'm anti-capitalism?
And I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I'm just like, yes.
Yeah,
Um,
like the things that you could do with a lot of money that's not like making the
yeah.
ugliest fucking cars you've ever seen.
Exactly, exactly that part. I always say, I think that's a great answer, by the way. I think a lot of people on the show that I've asked that question, they always say respect, which I understand. I get it. It's awesome. But I think, either one of those things, if it's in the wrong hands, right, it could be bad, right? If you think about it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think it's like you said, we can do a lot of good things with money. We can help.
Yeah, it's just being adaptable. Like if you're
Yeah,
going to throw capitalism at me, yeah, I want money.
absolutely. Absolutely. I love this. I love
Yeah, I'll make it work.
um I love asking this question, and for the listeners out there that listen to this podcast, a lot of them love this question because they get, different things from each guest. But what advice would you give to that young boy, that young girl out there that's trying to, you know, that wants to get into the music world, or wants to be a creative or want to get into acting? What advice would you give them?
Oh man, just be resilient and adapt, because art is changing all the time. And like you said, like during the pandemic, when you kind of had to stop with being on set and everything, and like you had to adapt into something else, like the art world is constantly changing. But the piece of advice that I would give is just make more things. Like, creative people without a creative outlet are the most insufferable people. And I see that everywhere. Like, there's so many people that have so much to give, and going back to like chasing the clock, racing against the clock, it's like it can be hard to kind of sit down and have a little bit of introspection and think about what you want to make. I think just making art is really freeing. And I think more people should try it. But I will say, it is a really tough industry. But in saying that, like, people who have so much love for it that they just have to do it, even if it's hard, they're gonna do it.
Exactly.
Like, they're not gonna listen to, like, I didn't listen to everyone saying, oh, as an artist, like, you're not gonna be able to support yourself. I was like, no, I'll find a way. I'll find a way, because I have to do it. But even if you don't want to be like an artist for your career, I think it is really nice to even just journal, doodle something. Kind of get into your own psyche. It's very therapeutic.
Oh yeah. I love it. That's great. Thank you so much for coming on. This was such a lovely conversation. It was great chatting with you. And where can people find you on social media?
I'm Bailey.Gray on Instagram. I'm Bailey Gray Music on TikTok. You can find me on all streaming platforms. I've got a YouTube. If you just look up my name, my music's everywhere.
I love it. Really quick, what do you want people to walk away after listening to your album? What feeling do you want them to walk away with?
I want them to realize how many emotions you can feel, how many emotions you can grasp and sit in. I think that, and I mean, the theme of the album, the theme of the title song, Love It All, is trying to see things through a more positive lens and find the good in the world, find the textures you love, and the art that you love, and the books that you love. Like, focus on what it means to be alive, connect to nature. Like, I feel like we're all in this loop right now, and like, there's definitely ways to break out of the loop. Focus on love.
Focus on love. Yes. Amen. I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. This was such a really nice conversation.
Yeah, I love talking to you.
Same. I'll definitely be in touch. I'll be in touch from afar. Are you still in London?
I'm not. I'm back in New Jersey. Yeah.
Nice.
Moved back like half a year ago now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.